Hey everyone, today we're back in Battlefield 6 and we're talking about microtransactions. Microtransactions have always been a touchy topic in the gaming world, yet they seem to creep more and more into games nowadays, and a company that is perhaps the worst reputation for their history with microtransactions is of course EA, the parent company that ultimately owns Battlefield 6. As a result, Battlefield 6 is absolutely full of microtransactions, and in this video today I want to take a look at what these purchases offer in the game and call out just how insanely ridiculous the monetization is in this game. There's already a lot of complaints out there online about it, but I think that a lot of people don't even realize just how bad it really is in Battlefield 6. So before we even get into it, I want you guys to guess in the comment section below how many dollars worth of microtransactions do you think exist in Battlefield 6 after being out for almost 3 months. I'll reveal the correct answer at the end of this video, so make sure you hang around until then. If you played Battlefield 6, you'll know that the microtransactions are impossible to miss, and in fact, you often get hit with them right when you open up the game. So let's pretend that I'm a new player and all I want to do is get into a game of Conquest. You know, I've heard that Conquest is the most classic Battlefield experience, or one of them perhaps, so let's go ahead and launch the game and see if we can get into a game of Conquest. And oh look, everyone's favorite feature, before we even reach the main menu, we get an advertisement to purchase the Battle Pass. So I think this really sets the stage for the level of shameless grift that Battlefield 6's monetization model is. I mean, imagine that you just purchased this brand new game for $70, of course. You launch it for the first time, and before you can experience even a single second of gameplay, you're being advertised at to spend even more of your money for 100 tiers of content. We're off to a bad start, obviously, but let's just go ahead and dismiss this ad. And what do we get for dismissing this ad? That's right, we get another ad. This time we're given an ad to purchase Battlefield Pro, which can give us a whopping 25 tier skips, 6 additional rewards, an exclusive path, and much more. So wow, this really sounds like great value. That's so much content. I really hope that it's high quality stuff. Don't worry, we'll get to that later. So already we're hit with 2 ads and we haven't even reached the main menu yet, but if we dismiss this one, we finally at least can get to the main menu. And I want to take a moment here to appreciate just how horrible the design of this main menu is. Keep in mind that I'm pretending to be a new player right now who just wants to play a game of Conquest. That's all I want to do. I bought the new game. I want to get into a game of Conquest, and I've already had 2 giant ads served to me, but I finally made it to the main menu. So what am I rewarded with for making it to the main menu? You guessed it, of course, more ads. So on the main menu there, of course, is this scrolling background, of which 3 of the 5 items are advertisements that are trying to get you to spend more money on useless garbage. There's once again the same one for the Battle Pass, one for Battlefield Pro, and then one for one of the content packs that are in the store. And I also just like to point out the fact that when you're on one of these ads, the advertisement itself is probably about 80% of the total screen space, while the UI takes up such a small amount of the actual screen. But, well, it's just the UI. You only use that to be able to play the game, and who would want to do that when they can just look at ads and spend money instead? If we come down here and click on multiplayer, though, we can finally at least see our box for Conquest and click on that and then actually get into a game. And I do want to point out as well that this box isn't always here. Sometimes it's even been on like the 2nd or 3rd page. So imagine the experience that sets for a new player who just wants to play Conquest but has to sift through as many as potentially 5 advertisements and dig through several menu options just to find one of Battlefield's most iconic game modes. So yeah, hopefully that kind of sets the stage for just how aggressive the monetization in this game really is. Now with this in mind, I want to go ahead and take a look at the Battle Pass because, well, the Battle Pass is advertised as having a huge amount of content. It's one of the main features of Season 1, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Battle Pass and see what's offered in here. We have these 4 main branches and then a few extra ones. We have this intro branch and then 2 branches at the end as well. So let's go ahead and flip through these and just see what's actually available. So I'll start with the first one, and you can see that, yeah, we have a weapon sticker, we have some kind of a weapon skin, a vehicle skin, another weapon skin, some player skins, and really at the end of the day, all that this is just random junk. It's mostly just stickers, player card titles, stuff like that. We have some weapon and vehicle camos that are just random boring stuff. They're not really, like, none of these are particularly exciting. This one is just kind of basic white and blue and a little bit of orange. And we have some player skins that admittedly aren't really notably different from any of the default skins. Like, whenever I look at this right now, I genuinely cannot tell you what the difference is between this skin and one of the default skins in the game. Some of them are okay, like this one at least has, you know, the little leaves on the hat, so it's a little bit different. But the problem is that some of these are different in a bad way, and the one that I'll point out here is the one that's at the end of the ultimate path, and I talked about this one in the most recent video that I did, but what even is this? Why is he wearing a gas mask? He's got no helmet, he's got these things, he has a cape on as well. And this one just frustrates me because it's so wacky and outside of the gritty, realistic tone that this game was sold as, so it doesn't make any thematic sense compared to the rest of the skins in this game. I've already ranted about that in my last video, and will probably rant some more later in this video, so I won't dwell on it. Now, we do have some exciting things in this Battle Pass because a few of these paths have weapons at the end, so those things I would say are actually worth getting. They actually give you something that changes the gameplay, at least in some meaningful way. For instance, the SOR here is the one that's unlocked at the end of this first path. The problem, though, is that reaching the ends of these paths takes forever. So I have around 100 hours played in Battlefield 6 so far, and I've made it through about 1.5 of the paths. I've made it through the first one, and then a little bit more than half of the third one, and basically no progress in any of the other ones. And I would say that I play this game more often than the average player because, you know, I'm not a father of two who works a 9 to 5 and only has 30 minutes every 3 days to get in a round or two. So without paying for the tier skips, I would say that it's entirely unrealistic for any normal person to actually get more than half of the meaningful content in this battle pass, i.e. the weapons. So to kind of summarize the Season 1 battle pass, if you don't pay for it, it's almost nothing. If you do pay for the battle pass, you get additional junk like stickers and patches compared to paying nothing at all, but you'll probably still fail to complete enough of it to actually get the meaningful weapons and stuff like that. If you do pay for the Battle Pass and you have Battlefield Pro as well, then you get a boatload of junk because you get to skip 25 tiers or whatever it is. But you'll probably at least get enough progression after the tier skips to get the weapons at the end of the paths. So the moral of the story here is that this Battle Pass is an absolute joke with meaningless filler content and absurdly grindy progression that tries to instill a fear of missing out so that way you'll spend more money. It's really kind of just a disgrace to Battlefield. But let's go ahead and let's keep beating this dead horse and let's check out the store page, which is not somewhere that I really like to visit ever. And in particular here, we're going to go into the Winter Offensive packs, and we're going to take a look at the Bestial Trapper pack. Now this one costs 2,100 Battlefield coins, so in real money that's about $20. First off, the skins in here are just stupid. We have this Airsoft LARPer one with the bright red mask, because obviously bright red is the perfect camouflage color. And then next to him, we of course have the wannabe Stormtrooper. That's, I don't even know what this one's supposed to be. I guess it's like a, I don't know, it's like a motorcycle helmet or something like that. So I'd say that both of these are a little bit removed from the gritty realism theme that this game is supposed to have. We then have one weapon skin, we have a parachute skin, we have 2 patches, we have a player card icon, a sticker, and then finally we have a player title at the end. Keep in mind, this is for $20, like $20. A week ago, when the Steam sale was on, you could have bought Red Dead Redemption 2 for $15, which, you know, less than this package of junk, and you would still have $5 to spare. To add even more insult to this, let's go ahead and take a look at the Wind Chill pack, and something in here recently went fairly viral, I would say, and that is the Winter Warning sticker. Do you notice anything wrong here? Maybe the fact that the M4 has 2 barrels, no trigger, and a bunch of other weird features? So yeah, this one is definitely AI generated. So not only are they asking ridiculous amounts of money for cosmetic slop, but it's not even generated by people or even quality checked, it would seem. I won't continue to dig through the store even more, but it's basically like this the whole way through. It's just outrageous prices for cosmetics that are either boring or don't fit the original theme of the game, and some that are even generated by AI in probably about 5 seconds and just thrown into the game without checking if they make any sense. I added up the cost of all the cosmetics in the store, and at the time that I'm recording this, buying everything would cost you anywhere from $290 to $360, depending on whether or not you buy the Battlefield coins in bulk or not. So after being out for only 3 months, this game already has more than 4 times its original price in microtransactions, most of which are just useless slop. I guess some people out there must be buying this garbage though, since they keep making it, but please, for the love of God, do not purchase and support any of this. Even when they come out with good skins, still do not buy them. Just do not support the whole microtransaction economy, because it's adding so much filler content to this game that the game does not need 1,000 skins. Because if you make 1,000 skins, you're not going to be able to fit 1,000 skins into a single theme. You're going to have ones that are outside the theme and don't fit in. And I'll also just say that none of this is really a surprise, because EA does this for nearly every big game they push out, but man, I really wish that we could live in a world where we don't get aggressively advertised to 24/7 in things that we've already paid for. But anyways, that's it for today. Like and subscribe for more Battlefield 6 content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.